Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsey's Little Library. So I'm here today with my December wrap up. I have 8 books to share with you today, which is kind of crazy. I don't usually read a ton in December just because it's holidays and the craziness that goes with it. But I was able to get through, obviously, 8 of them. So let's just start talking about them. The first couple I want to talk about is the Winter Street series. This is by Ellen Hildebrand. This was actually gifted to me by my best friend. I asked to borrow her series of it, and she is so good at like scouring some of those Facebook book swaps groups and ended up finding a set of them and picked them up for me. So thanks, Lindsey. So I read the first 2. I read Winter Street and Winter Storm. This follows a family in Nantucket who runs this Winter Street Inn. This first one really centers around Christmas. This one is just before, and kind of just goes through the perils and drama within this family. They're sweet, they're easy reads, they definitely get you in a Christmas-y mood. Love them. I wanted to finish all of them, but I have 2 left over. We'll just save those for next Christmas. The next book that I picked up is The 12 Dates of Christmas by Jenny Bayless. I did just talk about this in a Booklist Thursday book. But this one follows Kate as she is trying to kind of find love, I guess. And she's giving it one last try, and she signs up for this dating service that gives you 12 dates before Christmas with 12 different partners. And so she decides to sign up for that, and there are some antics that happen and some funny things that happen, and it is just a cute little romance. I really enjoyed it. All of these are really kind of like 3.5 stars for me. Nothing fantastic, but just perfectly what I was looking for as far as a Christmas mood type book. Then I picked up My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing, another one I just talked about, but that's okay. This is more of a psychological thriller-ish about a couple their children are getting older, and the couple's kind of getting a little bored, and you could tell they're a little unique. And so their kind of hobby becomes killing people and how they cover it up. So really interesting read. It was really quick. They're short chapters. I enjoyed every moment of it. Would highly recommend. I gave this one, I want to say 4 stars. Yeah. Another one I picked up, I actually listened to this book. This is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, whom I am obsessed with. I read a couple of her books this year. Love, love, love. 5 stars. This one follows, Alexis and Daniel. And Alexis is a very successful doctor at a huge hospital that is really centered around her family, or was founded by her family. And so there's really big expectations for her as a doctor. And she ends up stopping in a little small town. This takes place in Minnesota. And kind of takes a break for the night as she's driving home, and meets Daniel, he runs a bed and breakfast there. And he's kind of just what she needs. Yet she knows that their lives are so different, and it kind of goes from there, and obviously that relationship that it is. But it's so sweet. I enjoyed it on audio. It's fantastic. Loved it. The other audiobook I listened to this month was Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing by Matthew Perry. I am a huge Friends fan. Love, love, love. Watched the entire series. I don't even know how many times. Like, I own the DVDs. Like, huge Friends fan. So this was a must read for me. It is narrated by Matthew Perry and definitely talks about the immense addiction struggles that he has been fighting his entire life. More of just, this is how it is, and this is how I've dealt with it, and this is how I've continued to push myself and keep going. I really, really enjoyed it. And gave it 4 stars. It's just one of those, if you're a Friends fan, you have to listen to it. You just do. It's just good. Another one I picked up, more atmospheric or timely, is The Family Game by Catherine Steadman. Now, this book takes place between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and it follows our main character, Harriet, who is working on her latest book and engaged to Edward Holbeck, and he is the heir of a very powerful family. And he's been kind of protecting her from this family for the last year or so, and up until this point, she really hasn't met them. And now she's going to begin to kind of immerse herself into their life and their traditions and kind of be with them throughout the holidays. And wow, their family's a little interesting, very interesting. So they're just go into it. It's fantastic. This is the second Catherine Steadman book I read this year. I read Into the Water as well, which I loved. I think she's just going to be an author that I'm going to gravitate towards because she just knows how to make things all messed up, and it's so fantastic. And then last book I read for the year, definitely one of my favorites for the year, actually in this month, 3 of them made it onto my favorites of the year list. So don't count out December, my friends. There's some magic that happens. Anyways, I read The Appeal by Janice Hallett. I was looking for a really unique just experience, I guess, to read, and I picked this up right after Christmas. And this is so good. So the premise is there is a murder, there are 15 suspects, and a puzzle. And it really is. This is a puzzle in a book, which makes it so up my alley. So we are given emails and text messages, and I think there's a few voice messages in here. So we're given like this pile of communications, and we are kind of put in the seat with 2 characters who are in here. Gotta find their names. Oh, I just missed it. So we see text messages between Charlotte and Femi, and they've been given this assignment to try to figure out kind of what is the truth behind what happened to this series of events based on this information. And so you're almost one of them, because you're discovering things along the way with them and questioning similar things with them. So it's almost like a murder mystery, like puzzle that you are put into, because you do not just have the answers. You don't have the thoughts inside their heads. You don't have it's just emails and text messages and flyers and whatever tangible stuff was recovered to figure out what has happened. So I thought the format was super, super unique. This is a debut novel for Janice. She has another one coming out called the Twyford Code. It's time to solve the crime of the century. And this one, there's all like dictations of audio files. I'm super excited for that next book. When does it come out, I wonder? It doesn't say, but I'm gonna look it up. Anyways, The Appeal, definitely recommend, 5 stars. Such a good book, such a good book. So what am I reading next? I don't know. I'm kind of in this weird spot where I just don't know what to pick up next. So I've dipped my toes into a few books. I'm not committing to any of them. I'm just kind of letting it ride right now. The only book I know for certain I need to read in the next few weeks is If You Want to Make God Laugh by Bianca Maras. This one, I've read every other book by her, but it's a book club book for January, so I got to make sure I get that one done. I am listening to Stay Awake on audio. I just started that this morning, and I feel like I'm enough into it that that'll be my audiobook for a while. But as far as physical books, I'm just trying to figure out what to pick up. I am such a mood reader, and I will continue to be a mood reader, except for by book club books and such, but we'll see what comes up. Anyways, that's a lot. 8 books in December, not too shabby. I finished 90 books for the year. I have never read that many books in a year. That's pretty phenomenal. So I always set my goals at 50 books on Goodreads. I know that I will easily obtain 50 books, but 90 was insane. I would love it if I could read 100 books in a year. I don't know if that's really in the cards for me, but we're going to keep working at it and we're going to keep trying. So anyways, if you want to chat about any of these books, comment below. We can have a chat about that. Otherwise, like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. And I will see you next time. Bye.